Okay, I have never played Lingo 2 before. I did play Lingo 1 in its entirety, as well as a bunch of the optional content in the post-game, and it is the most frustrating game I have ever played. I think the game is precisely 50% brilliant and 50% super annoying, and not in a way that some games are, where like the first half of it is good and then it starts to suck, or the other way around, where the first half sucks and it gets good. It is constantly oscillating between the most brilliant thing I've ever seen and the most annoying, stupid thing I've ever seen. I think that Lingo 2 was rife with bad design decisions, like the decision to keep the non-Euclidean anti-chamber style level design in combination with the linguistics puzzles. I think those two things are completely synergistic with each other, don't work together at all, and it's something that the dev should have tried and then during testing decided to didn't pitch. It sounds like Lingo 2 still has that. So I'm expecting to be constantly switching between delighted and extremely annoyed. If you want to hear my full thoughts on Lingo 1, go watch my Lingo 1 playthrough or the ending of the first game. I kind of summarize my thoughts. Do we still have... We don't get any accessibility features this time, or maybe they just made them default now. Okay, play as you. Find the letters. That's my keyboard at the bottom of the screen. Write the words. Oh, but I have to find the letters first. Okay, cute. Does that not count as obtaining it? H up there. Making me get the letters is an interesting gating concept. I'm not mad about that. I have to like touch them maybe to be able to obtain them. Let's see. Okay, so now I have the letter H. First one's free. Letter recovery. It's a neat change, at least. Okay, so we have an I room over here. I like this at the beginning. I think the idea of restricting which letters you have is already a very good sign for future puzzles. Okay. The well's not completely poisoned. Thin hint. Okay, so I need an N and a T. I... Did typing I do something for me, though, is the question. If it did, where did it do something for me? Then... Okay, well, that's almost certainly going to be a map for solving a different puzzle. Here's an N. Hi, Bucky. How you doing? Oh, really? Okay. That's style... Which one do you recommend? I remember this being the case in the first game, too. Try the third one. Oh, that's much better, thanks. Yeah, exactly. I think hiding the letters is a really good decision. Not mad about that. Not just here to shit on Lingo, I'm open to them having made good changes here. Okay. What are we doing here? Zone transition, the music change. Kurt. Intro, outro. Okay, now we have some new rules here. There's like a 0 on that one. I don't know what that means just yet. Think, think, think. Why is it? What's it? What is it? Why is it not red? That's also already more clever. I never really wrapped my head around why Lingo 1 was the way that it was, but the only thing that made sense to me is that it was designed for a bunch of people to figure out together in like a Discord together. And I think it becomes more interesting if the entire game is like a pseudo ARG like that and isn't actually intended for a single person to play through without. Like, it's okay to get stuck in a puzzle game. I want to completely repeat all of my rants from that game, but it was just long enough to feel like it was looping forever. Okay, that's the way I came, I think. I do still think that the anti-chamber stuff isn't really doing it any favors. Just something I can do if I walk around in the center area. Maybe this is probably that picture that I should have taken a screenshot of earlier. Oh, I figured it out through pure random chance. Oops. Color. Got new symbols on things too. Painting. Unsolve. Delete unsolve. Oh, that's clever. That's a new mechanic. Okay, so that means homonym. Is there a better way to tutorialize these? Do you think the developer envisions this as a thing that someone could play completely standalone without having played the first Lingo? Does that mean antonym? Okay. And then maybe these can interface with other things. Solve. It's cute. I probably need to start a text file here. Describing the different symbols. Okay, hold on. Lingo 2, future Marstead. Alright. 0 symbol equals homonym, question mark. Flower with bracket equals antonym. Colors probably still mean something. And that removes one but not the other. Alright, so I still don't know what solving that did for me, but at least I learned some things in the process. We unsolve both of them. Oh, can we not unsolve both of them? No, I can. Okay. Probably need more letters for these. I think just restricting the letters they give you is already an incredibly clever way to be like, no, you're not supposed to be able to do this yet, right? Because you can't probably come up with a color that uses just those letters. So that's already quite smart. I hate this hallway, though. This is bad to me. Like, it's just long enough that you think that it's just looping forever. Nothing is critical information in that regard. Okay. Let's see what else is in here before I go outside. Trick. Alright, well, we know what that means. I also like the layout of the beginning of the game quite a bit better because there are fewer options of places for you to go right off the bat, so you can quickly understand, okay, paintings can have meaning elsewhere, and that painting obviously looks like that other maze room that we were in. So it feels more deliberately designed to get the player on board with like the core concepts. Yeah, it's a very, very smart concept. It probably makes it trickier to design the puzzles. Hints. Okay, so that bundle of nuts. Add a letter. It's like the equivalent of blue from the last game. Hit. Trot. Oh, I can't do rot, that's right. I need O. Into... Oh, like, won't let me do it because I don't have the O yet. Okay. Well, I appreciate that they just blocked me out of it. Okay, I don't have do. I don't have you. Yeah, that was one of the more annoying things. I don't know what the Lingo icon means yet. That was one of my big pieces of feedback, was just, you need to, like, take this game and watch a few thousand people play it, or maybe even a couple dozen people play it, and if they put in an answer that you're like, okay, I guess that's reasonable, allow it as an alternate answer. I don't think it gets in the way, unless if there's some other conflating rule that makes it not valid, right? Okay, so the bracket above is a negator. Bracket above may mean negator. Strike. Okay, now hold on. So we could have implied this earlier. Flower with bracket was an antonym. That means flower without a bracket is synonym. Yeah, we'll see. I'll do my best. 10. Okay. Big six-sided star on bowl with 2 stars below. With bracket above. Scribes category. So it's probably, that means this is describing the category, so the answer is a member of the category, and if there's no bracket, then it means it's tell me what the category is that this thing is a member of, would be my guess. Hey, getting the letters feels pretty satisfying. I guess there's a big O here, so we know this is where we get the O. Guess I gotta be really careful with doling these out, because I feel like they give you way too many too quickly. So, antonym of thick is thin. Narrow is wide, but I can't do that. Hint. This also thin? Okay. Okay. There's an R. All synonyms, one antonym. Can I do north now? Okay. Weird. Why is that the case? Okay, this is already a better room. They've gotten much better at trying to teach the rule. So... Star bull symbol plus star bull negator east north. So this could, maybe the two in concert mean give me another example from this category of things. Yeah, I appreciate that. Use... Okay, hold on one second. Let me go back to the previous puzzles really quick. There's a lot of... The first game was very bad at doing reinforcement, I think. Okay, these are anagrams. Not anagrams. Okay. Muse. It's a synonym, but the color probably still means something, right? I go to Thesaurus to help me out. It could be think. I'm gonna need to go find out what red means somewhere else, though. Act. Antonym. I guess if it lets me start to input the answer, does that mean that I definitely have the letters to be able to solve it? No, they haven't all been red. This one's blue. Oh, really? Now, does it mean that I physically can't solve it because I lack the requisite letters, or does it mean I'm not intended to be able to solve it with the other solutions that I've done? That's great. That's a really important piece of information to throw at you that was missing from Lingo 1. Why is it not red? Okay, this is where I'm supposed to learn that, I suppose. And it's because I just got letters to do the word not, but not the other ones. I think they're trying to here. It's one of those things, it's the same with 12 word searches, right? Where it's like, once you understand how they intended to convey it, you have the hindsight now to be like, oh, I see how they did that. But it's like, yeah, but you didn't actually tell me. A new player is still as reasonable for not getting it. I agree. That almost should be a thing that's in like the very first room, that they lock you in the room with it. Agree on that. In rot, where? To like walk along the floor in a certain pattern. Okay. I still really don't like the the non-Euclidean stuff. I think it works great in Antichamber because the whole game is about it. But I think that Lingo 1 would be vastly improved if you just like jumped into RPG Maker and placed all the puzzles in a organized fashion with no teleporty shenanigans. I'm not conceptually opposed to the idea of non-Euclidean puzzle hopping, but I don't know. I just think it's anti-synergistic with the linguistic stuff for the most part. Telling you whether a puzzle is solvable or not is gigantic. It's one of the best things they could possibly have added. Huh. Interesting. Yeah. The hinterlands. What does this place look like? The regular graphics. Oops. Much worse. Okay, I'm really glad they have these style options. Oh, they just tell you this outright. Okay. Whoa. Need a hint for N, but you needed an N for hint. Kind of cool. So there's like a hub you can come back to if you're stuck now, at least. You don't have to like Google it. Yeah, just the fact that there's different songs is a big deal, I think. You all E in possession of R. Okay, so I recognize that room. You got this down to a T. I see you. I think they're priority found I. Okay. Yeah, I'm not mad so far. So far, nothing is worse, and most things are better. That red is unsolvable is like such a big change, and I think it's actually a really smart idea to make it collecting letters because it kind of is elegant. It naturally follows the theme of the game. It makes it much harder to make puzzles, I imagine. Oh, that's convenient. This is called the control center. Okay, so I can always get back there quickly. I like the idea too that like if you see a puzzle and then later you get a letter, you might know, oh, now I can go solve that puzzle that I know I needed the letter L for. It's still kind of, because everything's non-Euclidean, it's kind of annoying to remember where all those things are without like constantly taking screenshots or something, but it's improved. Can it fit through there? There's a lot of different patterns for that room, it seems like. Could screenshot the other ones, I guess. Okay. So when we add a letter, now it's doable. Add a letter. Has to go in between one of the other ones. Oh, I can't. I guess I used to like to type like X as a way to think about where letters can go and what way things could change. Oh, and I can only use each letter once. So that's interesting. So another thing they could do is you could have to collect multiple copies of a letter. So I was worried that 26 letters isn't enough to stretch out through the whole game, you know? Tron. I can't do trot. That's a good way to establish that I can't use the same letter twice yet. I don't know what else I could possibly fit in here, though. I'm just adding a letter. Riot? Okay. Yeah, I want to be able to like put a space here so I can more easily visualize what could be going in there, you know? Okay, it's not going to be before the T, right? O-T, I-T, H-T, N-T. So it starts with T. T. Torn. Doy. Just shrinking the possibility space so much is a really good choice, I think. So something can go before the I. Iron. So I gotta get used to the idea that I actually have a pretty small possibility space of answers here, which is good. So if I'm already using into, then I only have an R or an H left, right? Intro, okay. There's a lot of repeated words here because we've seen intro show up earlier in places. Don't know what that means yet. One thing I kind of dislike about the non-Euclidean thing is that it means that frequently you solve something and don't know where it did something. Oh. Well, that answers that question. Maybe there's something else in the room that betrays what it must be. I can't do most of these anyway. Has to have 10 in it, so it's either an R, an H, or an O. Thin. Hey, I got the K. Do you now? That's cute. Okay, so operating theory on this is that it's... Well, we know it has to involve a K, right? It has to add 2 more letters, one of which has to be a K. Not... Tin. Okay. These are both still 3 letters, so remove a letter, add a letter, or if the order matters. Okay. It's not ink on this one. I guess this one showed as unsolvable until I got the K, right? So it has to have a K in it. Kin. Okay. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of room now if you can collect multiple copies of each letter. It's quite clever, actually. Now I have a K, so that opens up where I can go. So I would describe Lingo 1, if you were to like make a graph of my feelings on the game, it was like constantly oscillating between delight and fury. Here I haven't hit fury at all yet, so that's already a major improvement. Can't do anything with that. True, yeah. I think it would help if it told you that the thing you tried made sense to it, but it's not what it's asking for. You know what I mean? Okay, so these must use a K. This just means think, right? Okay. I guess think is an antonym for act. If it just gave you a little cookie and was like, yeah, I get why you put that, but for reasons that's not what I'm asking for, it wouldn't be as annoying. This is supposed to give me a B in theory, right? So what's the trick here? Let me see how the other rooms are laid out. There was a thing in the hint room that mentioned something about this. So it should be on the other wall, right? So the R is straight in front of me. The O is on my left. So the B should be on my right. I think that is a different version of the room, isn't it? I fucking hate this shit. I'm not enraged, but I don't care for the antechamber stuff. There it is. All right, whatever game. I guess, okay, let me back up my rage for a moment. This one at least it's arbitrary, but there's something that would cause the player to suspect a shenanigan, right? A lot of the non-Euclidean shenanigans in Lingo 1 are completely arbitrary, but here it's like, okay, we established a pattern. I'm supposed to get this letter. Why didn't I get the letter? Let me at least stay here and fuck around until I get the letter. I feel like that's what Antechamber does all the time, just kind of effortlessly. And I'm glad that at least that is featured here a bit more. What is the opposite of the concept of butter? Okay. Whoa. Oh, we're back here. Okay. Can't do that. Try to open this again. Into color. All right, so I have a couple screenshots now, but honestly, the thought of needing to memorize a bunch of different paths through this room seems kind of frustrating to me, to be honest. I don't know what direction I'm coming at it from either. I think we go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. 1, 2, 3. I'm pretty sure that was one of the patterns, but I'm just going to not think about it for now because it's going to piss me off. Yeah. It might still end up being my opinion at the end of Lingo 2 that just take all these puzzles and throw them into RPG Maker and just arrange them in some kind of logical fashion and ditch this whole part. It's really interesting that the dev didn't abandon the Antechamber stuff. It must be like really foundational to the concept. Because it's like I've said this a bunch of times. It's a perfectly reasonable fantasy. It's perfectly cool to say, hey, I played The Witness and I like, word puzzles and I like Antechamber and I want to make a game that remixes all three of those. But I think it's incumbent on developers to try out their fantasy and then in the process realize, oh, this doesn't work actually. And it's like it requires a level of courage to be like, this doesn't work. I need to throw the whole thing out as much as it hurts me to throw the whole thing out, even though I put all this work into it. How to get back outside, I literally don't remember. I'll find it eventually, don't worry. There it is. This room's basically completely done now. Right, stay out of this building entirely, basically. Interesting. This wasn't blue when I had the K, but it became blue when I got the B. I don't think they want me to just sit here and do every possible three-letter word that contains a B, but it's actually not, it's not that many things. It's quite a lot of things, though. Hey, bro. Okay. Happy face equals bro. Think. Basically done with that whole room. I don't know what solving bro accomplished. I think it would be nice if there was some kind of like additional symbol for this is a solved puzzle and the puzzle being solved has changed the state of something somewhere. Even if it doesn't tell me where to go, right? Maybe that's a step too far or something, but... There's like a hedge maze somewhere and I can't find my way back there because of antechamber bullshit. Teach. Please tell me where to go. Just see if anything's changed here with my new letters. Probably have to do something here eventually. I think even if they had to come up with some kind of complex iconography that was like... There's like unique pairs of icons, you know what I mean? Like, you solve the puzzle and now there's a unique icon on the puzzle that you've never seen before that appears in exactly one other place that tells you this is what was affected by the puzzle you solved. It would be annoying because you have to come up with a million different things eventually. Do you know? No. H is written on the ceiling. Isn't this the floor? Interesting. Hate this. Get that it's a color puzzle, but... I'm a little worried that a lot of these clues are going to be the exact kind of clue that I hate, where it's like it only makes sense once you already know what the answer is. They're like the worst thing as a streamer because people chronically struggle to like imagine not knowing a thing anymore, right? It's the hindsight bias. So like they'll be like, what? It's clearly like what you're supposed to do is clearly conveyed here. Like, here's the thing that explains how that puzzle works. And it's like, but that clue doesn't make any sense until you already know that the clue makes sense. And people are like, what? And you're like, I'm going to kill you. Okay. Let's not wander around and see if I find some new stuff here. Give you a key. Yeah, that would be fine. Have like a little small inventory. You know what it ended up being used for. Still can't do that one. So a one-way door, which is the worst. I'm trying to avoid doing the weird like gray and green maze with all the different patterns that I've learned because it seems like really annoying to keep track of. But I'm already fearing that I'm gonna have to do it just to make basic progress here. This is some bullshit with color. Ugh. It's like my having fun level is like so high when I'm just doing puzzles, learning rules, getting to the next linguistic thing. And as soon as you make me fuck around in non-Euclideanville for a few minutes, it's like I can feel my meter draining. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, I see, these colors are... So there's some kind of bullshit with, I have to make white, so it has to be red, blue, and green. I gotta go back and look at the clue here in a second. Some specific pattern they want me to do. The fuck? Base. Listen. Bibs. Well, I think that color puzzle is explained, but it's stupid. That's another thing. With a lot of stuff in Lingo, it's like, all right, I get what you're doing. It's not that I don't like it because I don't get it. It's I get it and I dislike it. I'll back up and show you. Hold on. Oh, well, I'll show you eventually. Not now, apparently. This is going to be another R. What the fuck does that mean? On, in... Solvable, though, and it's only 2 letters, so that really shrinks the possibility space. Okay, let's just do everything, right? It's doable to brute force it. Up becomes or. The fuck? Alright. Bundle of nuts plus weird zigzag. Top. Okay, so the letter P becomes an R. Oh yeah, there is a dot. Or do they add the hinterlands later? Okay. I'm glad the hinterlands exist, I think. Fuck, man. Could be basically anything. Is it always this zigzag plus dot? If I can get 2, maybe I can figure out what the rule is, but 3 letters is already too much to brute force, so... Maybe it's not. Probably doesn't start with a K. What becomes rot? Okay. So up becomes or. What becomes rot? So the T stays the same, but the P and the U change. So I guess the bundle of nuts still kind of has the same basic relationship that involves insertion or deletion of a letter, and then the prefix or suffix, I guess you could call it, the thing above or below it, tells you how many times you're doing it. Well, not necessarily, because we've seen a bundle of nuts appear twice for like add a letter, delete a letter. But it could mean that each time we see it, I'm doing it to one letter in the word. Now, U and P became R and O. U and P became R and O. Why? But not in the same order, right? O comes before P. But I don't know the relationship between U and R, if in fact those are connected in some way. Oh. So they're 2 away in the alphabet. 3 away. I don't know. I'll write it down for now and come back to it. That'd be nice, yeah. All right, well, It could just be a cipher, right? It could just be that you have to learn that the U and P, I guess you don't know where they are in the final word, because maybe the dot or the zap, the squiggles mean that one of those could mean that you anagram it, right? But these ones don't have the dot on them, so let's see if we can put it together. So if U could either be, I guess historically it's been UP becomes OR, UP becomes OR in either order. Writing that down. So hut in that case could be H hot. Okay. No dot, so the U became an O in the same spot. So here we don't know if the translation works in reverse. But in theory, the only thing that's changing is the O. Or if the rule holds, only one letter changed here. So if only one letter is changing, let's see if we can find another word in here that would work. Ton. Okay. I'm worried that it's a cipher, and I just have to know what every letter converts to. Turn, torn. I do think something interesting about this game is that it's frequently it's trying to get you on the intuitive layer where you just know the answer without being able to articulate why that's the answer. I kind of like that as an idea, but you never have that feeling when you're doing the non-Euclidean stuff. The non-Euclidean stuff is always requiring you to think about it way too much. So what is the opposite of whatever this operation is? This operation is probably able to modify other operations, the squiggly thing. Basically, the combination of these two means substitute one letter for a different letter. The different letter that you're substituting for maybe follows some kind of rule. So what does it mean to invert that? This is solvable. Thought it would be 10, but okay, I guess if we're only changing one letter, we should be able to figure it out. I can't do 2 because I can't double up a letter here. Those not really legal. It could be that it's the cipher, but the inverse, right? Like it always supposed to go in some direction, and this inverts the direction. The limited letters thing is by far this game's best idea so far. It's very smart, I think. All right, this is annoying, but let me just do it this way because maybe I can get more information if I can figure this out. Why is that the case? Okay, so T became I. Did I have the inverse of this over here? Ion became ton. I think it might be a cipher and that you go backwards, basically. It's like there's some kind of rule where I becomes T or T becomes I, and whether or not the inverter indicator is there determines which one you're selecting. want that letter, damn it. That's funny. Okay. Upside down room shit. Can't do any of that. Oh, it only accepts. Back here later with more letters. That's unsolvable now? What? Okay, so hold on. When this is R, this is telling me something about what the cipher is. So if I put this as an R, I'm for some reason moving the bottom of the R and that becomes a P. Does that change what's solvable in this room? No. Put rod. Oh, am I reserving my R here? Didn't realize I was putting it away. Okay. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that as a design concept because then they can make puzzles where you have to like store half of your alphabet to be able to progress. Why? Like, why? Just let me go back in the room, right? Because I can go back in the room if I do this, but... It's an Uber puzzle that requires your whole alphabet. That's cool. Yeah, I feel like this game is much more interested in the design space of its concept. I think that was probably the thing I found most offensive about Lingo 1 is that it seemed utterly disinterested in the concept of design space. It's like, that's like the foundational feature of video games. That's what makes it a game, is that you have all these variables you can fuck with, and those variables will scaffold your approach to making puzzles and directing the player to certain things. And you don't have to go like full Jonathan Blow in Braid and just think about every element and every possible way the elements talk to each other, but you should do that a little bit. God, I don't know how to get out of here. Right, so I wanted to show how you're supposed to solve... Oh, right, I can teleport there now, right? I feel like there should be more fast travel locations. I don't think that that would necessarily be a problem. Hey. Oh, I can't sprint. Okay. So the color room, it's actually a similar puzzle in RuneScape. It's a color wheel puzzle, and the door is white, so I need to overlay red, yellow. Well, I guess the idea is that blue and green make cyan, red and blue make magenta, green and red make yellow. And so yellow, magenta, and cyan need to overlay to make white. So I have to like step on the colors in a specific order to produce white. So like, again, I get what they want me to do, but there's a gap between the actual order in which I have to perform it and me understanding the like basic premise of the puzzle, right? And because the game is addicted to not giving the player feedback even when they're like close, Right, so this is a red door, so we go over the red line and the door is open. Okay. This is a yellow door, so red and green in some specific arbitrary fuck-ass order. So standing under red, green, is that what we're saying? Activating them simultaneously? Okay. So now it's white. So I have to stand at the location where all three colors are activated simultaneously and jump to make sure that I understand the solution. All right, this is better than I thought it was going to be. But I still feel like a lot of players are going to get this by accident. I guess having you jump in the third room requires a demonstration of an understanding of what they were actually asking you to do, which is good. I just want word puzzles, god damn it. It's too much. Do one thing really well. This is the opposite of chocolate and peanut butter. It's like chocolate and toothpaste. Sometimes I like toothpaste. Sometimes I have to brush my teeth. I can already feel the basic kind of oscillating between impressed and angry happening, though, because it's like, I can't tell you how it feels. Like, you get kind of into a rhythm when you're playing a game and you're starting to get irritated. It's like, yeah, fuck this game. This game's annoying. And then it does something that's kind of clever, like that color puzzle. I'm like, fuck, well, that was actually kind of good. But I'm still mad. But that was kind of good. It's like, it's Lingo is that Onion article or Clickhole article or whatever that's like heartbreaking. Worst person you know makes a good point. It's like that just for 40 hours. It's a game about getting into an argument with your spouse or your significant other and justifiably being pretty upset and then making a good point and you having to like submit that it was a good point and it like fucking up your being upset momentum. Yeah. I think you could do like deliberate art that's like trying to evoke that specific feeling that's potentially brilliant, but I think a lot of the stuff that sucks about Lingo is like not deliberate. It sucks like that entirely as a consequence of the developer committing to this design fantasy that doesn't really work. A stubborn developer. And a tolerant player base. I definitely can imagine the player who is really excited about the combination of both the word puzzle game and the anti-chamber non-Euclidean thing, and is delighted to have both at the same time, and is therefore tolerant of the kind of unintentional problems that generates. But like, the problems still exist. I think that's what drives me nuts. Whether a player is able to put up with it or not. This place sucks. I hate this place. I'm gonna leave. Yeah, it's the reason I think it pisses me off so much is that it's the George Carlin quote about like every cynic is a disappointed optimist. It's like, the reason I'm so bothered is because I am like so willing to get on board with this game. I want it to be good so bad because it like tickles all the right parts of my brain in certain respects. It would almost be easier to just like boot it up and say fuck this and turn it off and say I hate this, I never want to play it, but like I want it to be good constantly. Fuck, I hate this place. I'm gonna have to do something here to make core progress, I think. And I'm worried that I can make fairly substantial progress by just like dicking around and running arbitrarily in this place. I guess I could try to do the first screenshot I took. That's probably the one they want you to do initially. So it's like... Back to here, although I do have a new letter now, so maybe that changes something, question mark. The hedge maze, you mean? Okay, so... Star Bowl was... category, right? Art? Okay. Oh, fuck. Man, that's not a reward. That's a punishment. That's not a reward at all. Fuck, man. I guess the coordinate system isn't complex enough that you have to know what you're doing to find your way through it, but... I hate this. I really can't express to you how much I hate this. I get it, I just don't want to do it. I'm gonna make myself in a second. I think... I wonder if part of this game would be more tolerable if you had the magical power to, like, jump into the air and see the developer's eye view from the sky, right? Because I imagine a lot of this game was, like, storyboarded isn't the right word. The design phase, before you got to actually, like, when he was just writing stuff down, right? It was like a grid, just top down, drawing on grid graph paper or something. And I think if it was like that, it would be better. But the fact that it's first person makes it worse. If I was like a little guy moving around on a top down map and I could see north, south, east, and west at all times and see how things related to each other, I think I'd already be less annoyed. Googling the fucking route. Okay. Bikers. Cowboy hat. Type of hat. Ink, I guess, for a lot of these. Oh, really? Hat. Tan. Suntan. Tan's repeated twice. Is carpenter tan? Is that a thing? It's about to be mad if it was. So that actually changes what I thought Star Bowl meant, although it has a meaning that's similar. Describes category. Star Bowl plus Star Bowl negator became east equals north. Yeah. These all use the letter A. I don't know if that's relevant here. Biker's rat. Biker's tan? Do they mean like a farmer's tan? Is that like a cultural thing? A farmer tan is like when you're only your arm that's sticking out the side of the truck is, or the tractor is tanned, right? All right. So this is a separate set of 3 things, right? That are also red, black, and carpenter. Ant, I guess. Farmer's tan, but for your legs. Okay. Another letter, so that's fun. I do like the feeling of getting a new letter and going back and revisiting all the red puzzles is kind of neat. It would be neater if the red puzzles were in a nice little fucking RPG Maker room that I could... room number 1, right? That I go walk back, I go in the menu and I teleport to room number 1. And like, I'm imagining the menu. It's making me so happy to imagine it. It's like therapeutic to imagine the menu where it shows you all the rooms, and then there's a little parentheses next to the room that's a red number, and it's how many unsolved puzzles are in that room. And you do it like Disco Elysium style, where they like light up and change color when something goes from unsolvable to solvable after you find a letter. Oh, that's good. Let me just keep fucking fan fictioning Lingo here. Maybe. I basically never get joy from the antechamber solutions. Like every time I do it, I'm like, fine, I guess. Fuck you. It's weird because I liked Antechamber. I thought that was a good puzzle game. It didn't give me any kind of rage. So you said there's something on the outside wall of the hedge maze that I neglected? I mean, I saw this purple thing that I didn't seem to be able to interface with. Outside wall? I don't have this. I can't do this puzzle. Is this what you're talking about? Because I can't do that. I've just been avoiding anything that's red. I can't do it though, right? Like... Maybe Lingo 3. We'll finally get there. Go back to the hinterlands or whatever real quick. Does the green bar mean that the hint is no longer relevant because I've solved it? I have the letter that it's hinting at. Okay. I see you. God, I don't want to do this. You're gonna make me. Oh, fuck. UCC. This is one of the best puzzle games of all time, yet I feel the need to lead into a negative review. Sadly, the developer's obsession with mazes. I don't even think it's an obsession with mazes. I get it, it's a whip. Okay. I tried doing this one earlier. I think it's an appreciation for the puzzle game Antechamber and a unwillingness to recognize that maybe that you can't do both. You can't make... What's the curse problems in game design talk where he says someone wants to make a game that is as skill focused as Street Fighter, but is like a 4-player brawler, and it's like those mathematically it doesn't exist in nature. I'm sorry, I'm a cool idea, man, but like as soon as you decide to make it a 4-player open brawler, it's no longer about skillful button entry. It's about player politics, right? It's about these 2 players are going to gang up on this player. It's just you can't. There's no amount of iterating you can do to fix the contradiction that you've introduced. You know what I mean? I'm going to find my way back there. Just hold on. Is that a quote from a review? I don't know why I keep buying and playing Lingo games when I know I'll just feel bad about it. This game is, like, to be fair to it, it is an improvement on the original in every respect so far. It's just... It needs more. It is a stunning example of developer hubris, I think. Yeah, I agree. Dog, I don't remember how to go back to the stupid room, the purple, the gray and green room. I'll learn eventually, I guess. This doesn't go there, right? No, this does, okay. But that's a different exit. It starts me from a different section. So, like, the problem here, fundamentally, is that I don't know what the orientation is. There's no, like, way to see a compass or something, right? No. Well, I was going to try to do the patterns from the clue room. Oh, okay. I get it now. I'm kind of mad, though, because let me see if I can show you my screenshot here. Hold on. Transfer from my other monitor. So I know it had the comment about looking up, but, like, to me, this says go through the weird green and gray maze in this pattern, right? Go through the weird green and gray maze in this pattern, not look up in the room that's near the green and gray maze and then unsolve some of the puzzles in the room. I get it now, in hindsight. Boo. So we get a different one if we... I guess it's like, and it makes sense that it's like, okay, outside they're teaching you about the concept of unsolving a puzzle. So you're going to have to use unsolving to accomplish something in this room. Fine. Can I get, like, the letter C or something? Is that what we're getting at? Maybe it's that we have to come in to the room from a different direction. Hold on. Like, the room is technically different if I come in from the other door and it has a different thing on the ceiling. No me gusta. Ugh. I guess I'm glad that the hint exists, at least. I think the dev needs to be attentive to the ways in which hints might be misinterpreted. And I think that's something that you can only reveal through rigorous user experience testing, right? Always aim to amaze. G. Kurt. I do appreciate the on-screen letters help me look for what could be missing. Court. It kind of looks like the hedge maze, but I don't think that's what they're talking about. Just take the L. Trick. The letter I has an L in it. See, I would hope that when they say just take the L, they mean like the L that's on the wall here. Rise to the occasion. Sacrifices must be made. This is the you can interact through walls. We've learned about that. A lot of these clues make me mad. All right, that one actually I think is supposed to be for the maze. Shouldn't have made it with the same color. So it looks like it's giving you 3 sets of instructions, all for the maze, when 2 of them are for the post-maze room. All right, hold on. Where was the Indiana Jones whip? So we don't know where we're starting here. Go all the way to the end. Go 1 short of the end. Go 1 short of the end. Go right, and then we go up. Apparently is not what they intended, so wait. Maybe that was it, and whatever. That looks like that's whatever. Gotta jump through it. Okay. They put a little particle effect on there this time. Horn. I do kind of wish that the screen would center on the puzzle so you can see what you're typing, so you don't, the keyboard isn't actually accidentally on top of it. Really? Rhino. Remove. Yeah, I think just generally more pop-ups, like bloop bloop. A lot of stuff happens without you knowing. All right, hold on. Get in my text file here. I'm gonna free my mouse from this computer again. So, box with compass north. Horn. Okay. Piece of a greater thing. I guess the symbol maybe makes sense. The answer is rhino, so it's a piece of the rhino, and then the horn is a piece of a bigger thing. Okay. A lot of those are recurring concepts from vanilla lingo. Is north a piece of a compass? Okay. I don't have an S. So I would say spine, but okay. Yeah. Is there a crouch button? Fuck, there was a letter in there too. Train? I love that Lemmy video where he's talking about how he pronounces train correctly, but Americans say train, C-H-R-A-Y-N. Train. Train. I think that's the thing I did a second ago. Yeah, I saw the letter container, but if I have no reason to put something there, why would I put something there? Right? Like, okay, I mean, I can put a T there, but why? You say there's a letter container there, so I'm supposed to immediately know what letter to put there. Who? Where? I think this game is an endlessly interesting example of there's a part of this game that a very massive part of the game playing community would really love. Like, I think that there's a ton of people who would be super fucking into the language puzzle stuff and are just utterly gate kept out from playing it by the fucking antechamber stuff. Okay. Return. And then we got the thing at the bottom. Let's see. Bundle of nuts plus inversion bracket plus dot equals turn. Yeah, I mean, exactly. Simon would just throw up from walking around, not even just like being frustrated by what the fuck the game wants from you. Least blue last. I think it's interesting too, because like I will defend to the death, sir, the idea that a developer should be able to make whatever experience they want, and if it like locks some people out of the intended audience, so be it. Like, you know, please add accessibility options to your games, but if you're making a Souls game and you want to have an intended experience, so be it. But this game like tests that compulsion of mine so hard. So I'm like, no. The bird above me. Yeah. I think even doing it in the first game, I think you got to figure out partway through development, like, fuck, this was a mistake. We shouldn't have done that. Okay. I made a point like this many times in the past, but to me, a lot of what's magical about video games and game design is that it's an activity that's all about human empathy. It's fundamentally about imagining another person who's not you and helping them to get inside your brain, right? And a lot of what feels like core to Lingo, it feels unempathetic to me. It feels like deliberately ostracizing. It's like, if you don't get it, fuck you, I don't care. And I don't know, I guess I feel like those people tend to not make games a lot of the time, right? They just struggle to find an audience, maybe. I've told that story about the PAX panel I went to. It's like almost over 10 years ago now, where they did an experiment where they offered a game design class in like middle school and high school, where they would like give them the Portal, I think Portal 2 level designer, and said, here, make levels and share them with your classmates. And they did a bunch of like research on the kids before and after they took the class, and they were hoping to have all of these positive effects on like their math grades and their other performance. And the main benefit that they saw wasn't the stuff they were hoping for. It was that it improved their empathy, that just making them sit down and say, yes, I understand that you put a button here and that you've told the other players that they have to press the button to open this door. But in your mind, it makes sense that pressing the button opens the door. But how does the other person know that pressing the button opens the door? Like, what have you put in the game to make sure that they grok that? After taking the class, the kids got better at that kind of empathy for another person. And that's like the main thing that improved. I need to get out of this gallery room because I feel like I'm just running in circles aimlessly. Keep showing me that pattern, but I think that's the pattern that got me into this room in the first place. Each time I do it, I feel like I'm... Okay, so let's walk through the options. I can do this. It takes me back here. Pointless. I jump at the smiley face. It teleports me up a level. Teleport up the level. I solve a puzzle. There's nothing to do. I jump here. It takes me up a level. There's nothing to do. I jump into this painting and nothing happens. I can jump across over to this thing, and I see that there's a letter in there, but I can't get there because I can't... I see that there's a letter in there. I want to get it. Jump into this painting. Nothing happens even though it has the particle effect on it. Wait, it did that time. Okay, we have something here. I don't know how I got here, and I don't think I'll be able to get back to it, but this is part of another thing. Every rose has a thorn. Ant colony. Right, I need to remember which one's which. So, inverted, it's giving me... When it's inverted, it's giving me the big thing, and I need to find the small thing. I can't do nose. Can't do mouth. Right? I confused on that. It's giving me the big thing. I have to find the small thing, or the group contained within, part of the head. Head. Eyes, nose, mouth, ears, face. Hair. Okay. Clearly there's some kind of rule to navigating this place, but it strikes me as completely arbitrary. I guess you can use the letter containers as a way to force clues on puzzles by just putting every letter in the container and seeing which puzzles drop from solvable to unsolvable. I don't know if that's an intentional use of them, but... I hate this room. I like the puzzles, but I hate this room. Duo. Okay, well, I think my understanding of the category is like just wrong enough to, like, my understanding is right enough to be useful. Three letters. This is the small thing that's part of the bigger thing. Two antenna. Say radio, but that's not too... Say if it's car, I'm gonna be mad. On a related words page, I use this a lot in Lingo 1 just to brainstorm stuff. Oh, ant again. Okay. I guess it's helpful that they reuse words a lot. Probably also makes it easier to write or. So like each time I solve this shit, it's like putting shit on the wall, I guess. But like how I'm actually navigating around to the different parts of the room is black magic as far as I can tell. I think when you jump into a painting, there needs to be like a sound effect and like a visual. Like it's an improvement that a lot of the paintings have some kind of like particle effect on them now, but there's still this kind of like unremarkable effect when you actually successfully teleport through one of these. Where you can't even really tell that something happened. I'm a big fan of just opening a door when I solve puzzles and going through the door, and the door leading to a room. I feel like this room is a great example of what the problem is. They really want me to do that this whole time. Cat? Rat? Ooh. Ooh, boy. Screaming and crying and throwing up. The fuck does that say? Brim hat? Outfit? Hat? Okay. Oh, but I was able to just get in the... Fucking... Man. I need to play Antechamber again. Because I don't know how to articulate this problem, but in Lingo, you will do stuff that puts you in another room. And I think Antechamber will also secretly put you in another room all the time without you realizing that what you're in is technically a different room, right? It's basically, it's taking advantage of the portal technology from Portal 1 to fuck with you all the time as to, when I walk through this door, am I actually walking into the area that I see in front of me, or am I walking into a different room that has the front of me looks the same? You know what I mean? The problem is that in this game, the feedback is so bad when you're being teleported around. Sometimes I think it wouldn't hurt the game to just say, make a little noise with bloop, 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 and make a little sound effect so that you know that you went somewhere different than where it appeared you were going. But there's this non-feedback when you jump into a painting. Is this one cat? Is it rat? Oh, man. Ooh, Nelly. So do they actually give me the letter E here? Because that would be pretty powerful. It's a common letter in English. Okay. Hated that. I liked all the puzzles. I liked all the actual puzzles in there. I didn't like the fucking weird shit. Take the L, you say? Oh. The clue that opened that, maybe? I actually feel like it's almost incorrect to get too many letters too early. Like you should, in order to have an easier time with the puzzles, you should check every puzzle in the game after every letter that you unlock, right? Good. One day, in my retirement, when I'm never going to retire. I'm going to be streaming when I'm like 80 years old. But I can fantasize about doing the RPG Maker hack where I just steal all this guy's puzzles, don't charge anything for it, or donate all of it to charity or something. Okay, hold on. Where was that screenshot I took? Because I don't know that if it's actually given me credit for doing the stupid Indiana Jones whip yet. 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, maybe I don't. I've done it multiple times now, and one time it let me into like the gallery room, but I still don't know why. I'm done with that room too, really? So this room is doing some kind of thing where as I'm walking through it, I'm getting teleported elsewhere, right? Because you can see the textures change, like right there. Yeah, I'm teleporting as I cross this threshold to somewhere similar but not the same. So I think the dot means do it an extra number of times. Dot maybe means repeat action. N plus X times, where X equals the number of dots. Yeah. Okay, so now hold on. Label, able. I still don't know what the zigzag means. Zigzag previously has shown up in up to ore, put to rot. I don't know. Yeah, the symbols are much better. The red for you can't solve this yet is much better. Having to collect the letters is much better. There's still a lot of nice things to say about Lingo 2. It's not pure unfettered rage, but it is the mom with the kid. Why are you like this? And it's just like screaming. Bison. Yeah, it's just unfortunately you have to deal with those. The first thing the whole time, right? Why? Why? Ugh. I think if the fast travel was expanded to be every single room in the game and you only had to do the fucking antechamber shit once, that would help too. I appreciate that there's a little bit of fast travel, but yeah, that's what I have written down for zigzag. I wrote it down. I don't know what it means as it applies to different rule sets. I don't even know what it meant for the group of nuts at the time. This is this fucking thing, which you say I don't have to do ever again. Okay. Oh, God. How do you keep track of that as a viewer? Like, I can't keep track of it. I'm the person that's moving the screen. Why? 41 hours is the only submitted time, and it was for completionists, so I don't actually know. Okay, planet icon with bracket equals removes plural. S. Because they want the ability to add or remove plurals for puzzle locking reasons, even though it's not. Okay, that's interesting. Koi. Tuna. So it might just mean make or remove plural. And it gives you S. That makes sense. I think if you did the RPG Maker version where you split it up into rooms, then you have a fast travel menu that shows you every room and lets you pop to it and tells you how many puzzles there are still unsolvable and which ones have become solvable, Disco Elysium style, you could still like put like puzzles together, right? Okay, so the O was homonym. But I don't know what the zigzag means yet. This is remove a letter twice. Other antonyms for old. I don't have F yet. I have a Y. I have a double E. Five letters? That's the same. Tired? No. It's gotta be 5 letters, synonym for old. Can't do ancient, right? Senior's too long. And there's no other rules for this one. It's literally just a synonym for old that's 5 letters long. It uses some of these letters. Don't have aging. Might need help with this one. Synonym for want. I guess all of these need to have an S in them, right? Because they weren't available previously when I didn't have an S. luster, remove a letter twice. Okay. I think I do understand what the dot means then. Steal or remove a letter twice. I can't repeat a letter yet. Okay. Try to rust. Label becomes able. Trust becomes... Looking at rhymes just to help me find something here. It's not rhyming, that's not the rule, but it would still rhyme, so... Although it could be the T that's removed and it rhymes with truss. I still don't know what the thing for old is supposed to be. It's a synonym for old that's 5 letters long. Words related to old instead of synonyms for... They got me on this a bunch of times. It drove me crazy in the first game. There's like a related words website that I had saved for Lingo 1. It's 5 letters. Can't repeat a letter. Seniors too many. Older doesn't make sense because it already has the word old in it. Oldish doesn't make sense, it's too long. Can't do rusty. Senile doesn't work because I can't, it's too long and I don't have a second E. I can't do elder because I can't repeat the E. Stale? Okay. Able, stale. This one's gonna be lust. Okay. So whatever these two, they're both the same word. It's gonna be lust again. So this is stale. Okay, so let's try to figure out some rules here. So we already know the rule for this one. Figured out what the dot means. Know what the dot means. Label able. Ale stale. I'm worried now that the combination of homonym plus zigzag effectively degenerates to, collapses to, it rhymes, but that there's something more specific to the relationship than that, like a letter is being removed. Because previously it was zigzag was combined with the bundle of nuts, and that ended up creating what it appeared to be a set like cipher. Okay, I don't think I can actually take anything from this other than that specific symbol combination. I can get away with saying that it means rhyme, even though it probably doesn't mean rhyme. Wrote that down. And doing all these puzzles did not open a door. Told this story before, but Andrea was playing The Witness, and there's a part where you climb up a tower, and at the top of the tower, you may do one of 2 puzzles. You only need to do one of two. If you don't do both of them, it doesn't matter. But if you solve the second one, it's a lot of work and nothing special happens. Andrea was screaming, "Jonathan below, give me my cookie." What the fuck? Write the words has this like YouTube camera on one side and the smiley face on the other. Yeah. Kurt. Court again. I did that earlier. I'm having the most fun in this game when I'm just doing puzzles and I'm not having to deal with any bullshit in between the puzzles. I said, so I got that experience for about 7 seconds, then I'm in another fucking maze. Different floor color. I can't shake the feeling that all of these mazes were designed on graph paper or in some kind of grid software. Like, they were all conceptualized top down, and at no point did the developer think, what is it going to feel like to walk first person through this, right? I think if you just made an alternate version of this game where you saw yourself, it was like Void Stranger or something, right? It was like a grid-based Sokoban view. Even if it was teleporting you around, it would be more tolerable in many cases. So I'm supposed to unlock this like way sooner. Yeah. I think I made this point during the Lingo 1 playthrough, but it's quite possibly some of the most successful art of all time, given how, like, upset it makes me. I've encountered powerful art whose purpose is to deliberately upset, right? And I probably talked... Sometimes I'll play a game and just play the game for, like, 50 hours and just not really have anything substantive to say. I feel like I'm constantly thinking of new substantive things to say when I'm playing Lingo. So maybe it's brilliant in that respect, but I can't shake the feeling that that is not intentional. Okay. 10 puzzles. This maze shit is so ass. Synonym for slice. Making sure it's not that. Bit. Okay. Wait, what was intentional? Sorry, I think we're talking about two different things. Saying, like, is the fact that Lingo is so fucking frustrating to play deliberate on the part of the developer? I'm supposing no. Wreck. The letters are a really, really big improvement. For all my bitching, it's really nice to have something to always look forward to. You understand what it means when you get it. Antonym of smooth, rough. I wasn't talking about the grid design. I was talking about the entire game being frustrating. I think the developer made all of these like mazes and stuff top down and then didn't sit down and think, is this fun to walk through? Because like once you've made the maze top down, you already know what the solution is and you know where all your tricky little teleports are and shit. Yeah. See, I keep being struck by that thought, like it's so hard to tell if I'm being fucked with. And I think I made comparisons to Andy Kaufman a bunch. I don't remember what all I said during the Lingo 1 playthrough, so it's very possible that there is no free will type situation. I'm just rediscovering all of the same talking points I said during Lingo from first principles. Like, Andy Kaufman fucking with people is brilliant. A Kaizo Mario game fucking with the player and putting a block that causes you to die is brilliant. But there is a bad way to do a Kaizo Mario game, right? There is still a quality gradient there. Just the fact that you conceivably could be trolling is not a quality pass when it comes to criticism, I don't think. 5. There's one of them I can't do, so I shouldn't bother. Since I got the letter, I should just leave. If I can find the way out. Just teleport to. I need to figure out the way to get outside from here because I keep forgetting. Thank you. I love being fucked with in video games. I love walking through a door in Dark Souls and there was an enemy to the left of the door who immediately hits me in the back and kicks me into a pit. That just makes me smile and clap with joy every time it happens. I don't get the sense that I'm being deliberately fucked with in Lingo. I feel like it's not on purpose. It's just like that. Okay. Missing an F, is that the problem? Yeah. That's interesting. There's an M up there. It's a matter of like deleting some of these. So I can't trigger a puzzle from behind. What are we doing here? Is it actually a W all along? So what's the point of this hallway? So the one on the right flips the room upside down. but the one on the left just does nothing. Oh, come on, game. That was brilliant. You're not going to give me a cookie for that? What is the point? Why is there a left door? Is it just here for symmetry when it doesn't do anything? I think I'm done in here. Oh. That's cool. So this is good. So, damn it. Like I said, it's like, it's you getting this like angry momentum, but then you have to stop and be like, wait, no, that's smart actually. So here it's, this is smart because you walk up to this and you're like, oh, okay, the opposite of right. That must be left. And then you go and you do the thing where you do right. And then you come out with W, and now it went from being red to being blue. And you're like, what the fuck? So it's not left. It's a different opposite of right. Cool. Great. Wrong. Okay. Cot. It's caught, technically, right? Flames on the side of my face. Burning. I don't think that like the human mind is equipped to like I think we are equipped to deal with the situation that sucks and we're equipped to deal with the situation that's great and everything in between, but I don't think we're equipped to go from this is amazing to this blows like every 5 seconds. I don't think our brains are able to endure that for very long. Okay, wilt. Can I do built? Okay, it's not built. Is it guilt? Add 2 letters. Guilt. Okay. Oh, what the fuck does that mean? Okay, so this is similar to the acorn oak one in Lingo 1, which is actually a great puzzle. I have the letters for acorns, but okay. Yeah, no worries. I thank you for sharing the game, because after playing Lingo 1, it is neat to see some of the good ideas in here, like the letters and stuff, but holy shit. Plant growth. Tree growth. You gotta come up with a new kind of torture where you're like waterboarding someone, but also like letting them play with their favorite toy at the same time. Just every couple minutes, you like, okay, we're gonna waterboard you for a couple minutes. Maybe. The fuck? Why? It's like when I find a new area like this, in most games I would be delighted that I found something, but here it never feels like I found it because I did something clever or smart or that it was deserved. It's just like I arbitrarily walked the right stupid path. Okay. Increased intensity, perhaps? Yeah, exactly. Like you're immediately overcome with dread that I don't know how I got here, and I know I'm gonna have to come back later, and I have no idea how I'm gonna do that exactly. The walk became run. Inverse of meal. Damage. Starbull with negator, east to north. Shape. Oh, I can't do shape. Wait, what? So there's some subset of areas that the gallery will let you go to, but not everywhere? Did the teleport painting not exist until I visited this place for the first time? That wasn't clear to me. I can't do sleep because I don't have another E. Can be high. Opposite of grow. Synonyms for shrink. Die. Okay. Yeah, I probably made this point in Lingo 1, but one of the things that is maddening is that occasionally the game reveals that the developer knows the right way to do something, which is worse than them just not knowing, right? It's like, well, why aren't you doing it the whole time? Like, you learn that you can lock me in a room and force me to understand some concept before I'm allowed to leave, but you only did it like twice. Why are you like this? Why is this the way you choose to be? What? What does the pyramid mean? God damn it. Inverted pyramid. Maybe it's literally an associated word. But what is the opposite of an associated word? Okay. Fucking fuck. What the fuck? Walk, run, light, bright. What was the other one that made me want to scream a second ago? Sprinkle, rain. Happy, glad, but there's an inverter above it, which means something. Just for me to, like, scream. I feel like this would be the perfect game to die playing, to, like, do the Monty Python thing where, like, you just have, like, a heart attack from playing it. I'm just, like, so incredulous that my life ends. I don't even think I would have a heart attack. I think I would just, like, I would cease to be. I would, like, blink out of existence. Oh, some of these fucking, I just noticed that almost all of these consoles, the console itself is white, but this is a black console, which was the thing that mattered in the original game. Words related to damage. I don't have an M yet. Okay. Can't do kill. Originally, I thought it was like increased or decreased intensity, but I can't say that about happy and glad. Dent should be. I should be screaming right now. I should be just gnashing my teeth. So dent seems like it's a milder form of damage, and ruin seems like it's a more extreme form of damage, right? That was my initial theory, but that doesn't hold. Sleep is not a more intense form of rest, I don't think. I can get this one, apparently. It's 6 letters with no repeat letters. It's actually not a lot of options. Happy and glad? That's fucked up. They should even put that in here. Happy and glad are just synonyms. Bright is not necessarily more intense light. This one, that's unacceptable. Glad is not a less intense happy. Oh, I've never heard, to me, happy and glad are just strictly synonyms in my mind. pause. I can't do pause. Looking for 6-letter words related to rest. Well, I can't actually look for 6 letters on this list. I'm just looking at a large list of words related to the word rest and looking for things that are 6 letters that feel like they could be right. Most of them have a duplicated letter. Huh. Yeah, I've never heard of that distinction between glad and happy. That's interesting. I think I'm getting way too down the list. It's funny, Rorak. I don't want to leave this one because less intense. No. Not pause. I don't even have a P. But they are arguing that it is a less intense form of happy according to this game, which I think is bullshit. I think I just need to know what this one is. What is this one? I'm out of ideas, I think. Still scrolling a list. The inability to duplicate a letter makes it much harder. Doesn't really help. They don't have a Z. Trying to focus just on L words. Word Hippo, what's the site I use for 6-letter words starting with L? Oh. There's a lot of 6-letter words that start with L. It's probably not the way to do it. Linger? It's not bad. Good guess. Good guess. Later's not bad. Nope. That loiter isn't accepted is This developer was not prosecuted for their crimes in the first game. I can't do duplicate levels. I know, right? Exactly. I'm looking at a list of L words. I'm gonna go. Keep throwing out guesses here. I'm opening this one up to chat. One of us could figure this out, right? A less intense word of rest starts with an L. Lounge. Okay, that's a good one. Well done. Well done. Clap, clap, clap. Good job this name. That one, like, soft required the first letter. I made this point in Lingo 1 that I think that all of these should just have the first letter. I get that they give you the button to press, but they make that seem like it's like you're giving in if you take it. And I think it would be a stronger... I feel like it would collapse a lot of the uncertainty if you always had the first letter. Or even better, because one of the complaints I had with Lingo 1 is like, there needs to be one solution to every puzzle. And you need to do something to make sure that there's exactly one solution, right? Like, there's a couple ways you could do that. You could make sure that the answer is part of a cluster of related answers in a room. Like, maybe the answers are all foods. But if the answers are all foods, there had better not be two legal foods that fit the criteria, right? So I think what you could do is you could go to each puzzle in the game and you could say, oh, okay, unfortunately, this one has like 6 answers that are illegal. So I am going to pre-write the third letter to break the degeneracy. I think the dev has like 0 interest in breaking the degeneracy. That makes me want to scream. Yeah, how does lounge differ in intensity from rest? How does glad differ in intensity from happy? I think the idea of higher or lower intensity is a fine, again, design fantasy for your words. Like, maybe there are enough words that exist in nature that I can use that as a concept with a limited set of letters and no ability to repeat letters, right? But maybe it doesn't. And if it doesn't, if you're resorting to happy, glad, and rest lounge, maybe you need to throw out that idea and say it doesn't actually work as consistently as I wanted it to. Okay, snack. So this one is the inversion of what's this category? What did I write down for Star Bowl? Describes a category, but an inversion. So we had it one time where we had the Star Bowl plus the Star Bowl with a negator above it, and that the answer to that ended up becoming east becomes north. So it ended up, somehow that combination of symbols implied it's another thing in the same category. But here, I guess it could just be any color that I can legally spell, right? Sure. And I guess here you could say, well, you're in a tree and the color in the area is brown. So that's why it's brown and not black, even though either of them are technically legal. Yeah, like walk and run. Well, so that's what I'm saying is that I think he comes up with something like walk, run, which is fine. And then the problem is the dev is committed to this new brilliant system of you got to unlock each of the letters and you can't double use letters. So that like sharply reduces the available words in the English language that can be legal for that category at any given time in the game. And I think you have to be willing to abandon an idea if there's not enough words in the English language to satisfy the concept that you came up with, right? I think that is the like sin of this developer is it's a kind of stubbornness, but it's specifically it's like a hubris about concepts not working. It's like, well, I came up with it, so I'm gonna do it anyway. It's like, but if it didn't work, you got to throw it out. I'm sorry. Like, it's a really cool idea. Maybe like make a documentary or something, or have a bonus area that's optional at the end where you can have all your rejected concepts for players to check out. But it has to work It has to work all the time. I'm sorry. It's not enough. Rat with 2 extra letters. Yeah, playtesting solves most of it. I think I said that in Lingo 1, that it feels distinctly like a game that was not user-tested at all. Like, the game wasn't substantially changed in response to just not even user feedback, but just watching someone play it. Just watching someone play it and going, oh, I didn't intend for that to come out like that. I'm going to go in and clarify it a little bit, you know? Okay, so question, category. I didn't think so. It is solvable. It's related to question. Thinking. I can't do item. I'm guessing the reason it's brown is because it's a black console and there's some other rule I haven't learned yet about that I haven't encountered. All right, this is 3 letters. It has I have to remove a letter and then some fucking bullshit. I don't know what it is. I have to remove 1 letter, but then I also somehow have to remove another letter or transform a letter into something else, or yeah, I can't infer anything about what the target with the zigzag means. Now I have too many letters to start just like randomly guessing, so I guess I could try to find a place where I could store a bunch of letters. Is that why they have that room that lets you get all your letters back in case you forgot where you stored them? I can probably do some of these. Rat. Hold on, where's my words containing thing? Here it is. So there's so many. That could be ratio, right? It could be crate. It could be great. It's somewhat limited by the fact that I can't duplicate letters. Orate. Is it like tied to this green box in some way? Brats. I guess the added letters could be between the R and the A, or the A and the T too, so I just don't have enough information, I don't think. Excited to see what a less intense and more intense jump is. I guess one of them is probably leap and hop. That would be fine, I think, for less and more intense. So you're saying the gallery, new paintings spawn here? There needs to be like a sound effect or something when this place gets updated. I feel like you could play this whole game and not even know that there's a fast travel option. Let's go to the control center to see if there's any more tips. Not that I could do much with it. So I can always store letters here. This is 26. It is, okay. Rise to the occasion. Who, what, when, where, why. I think most of these clues are not helpful. I think they're all going to be something that, like, once you get the answer, you come back here, look at the clue, and say, oh, I see what that means now, but I had no idea what it meant when I looked at it the first time. Hedge your bets. So last time I did this, it was bro. Is it bruh? Grin. Okay, so I can go to the hedge maze, I guess. No. Four letters. Okay. Sorry, sometimes I get on a funk with the really stupid puzzles and my brain stops working for things that are really easy like that one. Okay. Okay, something about grin. I guess the way you're supposed to know that the red ones are unsolvable is they don't let you start to enter letters into them, right? But in that case, they could just lock you in the beginning room and make sure you understand that before you're allowed to leave. It spells a word, but I'm not high enough to be able to cleanly read it. So this should be the thing that's grin or whatever, but I can't actually write on it. This hedge maze is not relevant to that hint. Okay, thank you. Towel, okay. I think we've seen this specific. This one is add a letter and remove a letter. Let's try some examples. There's just so many things it could be. Well, it wouldn't be, if I had to remove a letter, it wouldn't be that. Okay, I guess it's because this is a tower. Okay. I think there needs to be a symbol that means this is somehow connected to your immediate environment. I know that frequently things are connected to the environment, and I remember in Lingo 1, there was an explicit, this is connected to your environment color, but the problem was that frequently puzzles are just connected to your environment anyway, whether that color was used or not. This is the one that's art, okay. Yeah, I know. I still haven't gotten that to work. Okay, well, that's interesting. Colors. Okay, it's like I did the pattern for the whip and then I randomly moved 2 additional rooms and it let me into the gallery. So I don't know what I did wrong that I'd had to do 2 more rooms to get in there. These are always the same sets of, it's 5, no, 5, 4, 4. Two letters? It's 5 letters. Okay, game. There's been, like, no effort to reckon with the rhyming problem. I guess there's nothing here that really collapses the wave function, right? Because you could be like, okay, well, one of them is right, which means the other one has to be right because of the pattern here of you duplicating a word. But there's no particular reason why either of these two should be right as opposed to any other word that rhymes with sight and quite, right? Cog, rhino, hug, rug. Honor our hint. Okay, so tough. I get what they're doing. I can't do duplicated letters here. It's one that's not listed, I guess, is the idea. We've had Grin show up elsewhere. I'm actually super curious if the entire game commits entirely to answer words that do not have duplicate letters, because that is a pretty... The first game allowed duplicate letters, and it already felt like there weren't enough letters, or not enough words in English to cover all of the developers' ideas. Yeah. This place is much louder than the other areas. I thought we've had Torn come up in the past. His horns come up before too. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing it, because it was nice in the first 30 minutes. I had hope in the first 30 minutes, and then it just got destroyed. Maybe Lingo 3 will finally get there for me. We've had hint, but not clue. Okay. All the changes are better. It is better, but it's still fucking Lingo. Still the most frustrating game of all time, in my opinion. Which one do you want from me? Oh my god, I did all of them. Unless if it's 2 syllables, but still 4 letters, like a new. Cebu. I need to get this one before we're at time here. Outdo, untrue, tattoo. Maybe suggests that it is in fact 2 syllables. But who knows if that's actually a rule or not, right? Can't do double letters. Can't do tutu, undo. Oh, because you had significantly fewer letters. Yeah. I think that's... I was really excited about having limited letters, and I was like, man, I really hope that they're very careful here about not giving you too many letters too quickly. Or maybe there need to be more areas where it's like you have to like go to those letters where you're like putting the letters in the wall to store them. It's like you have to spell a word in the wall to give up those letters before you can go into the zone, right? So that the area isn't harder when you come back to it. All right, let's be very careful at the beginning here. So blue, 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 brew, chew, clue, true, drew, flew, glue, crew, hue. No, I can't do hue. New, blue, view, boo. Yeah, I don't have. I keep thinking I have P, but I don't. I don't have an X. Shoe, shoe. Skew, slew, stew, true, true. Yeah. I think there are three things that work in direct opposition with each other. There's the language puzzles. There's the idea that the game is open world like The Witness and you can do the puzzles in virtually any order. I think is directly at odds with the language puzzle thing, that it causes a ton of problems for the first thing. It works in The Witness because of the way The Witness hard gates so much stuff. There are so many rooms that are locked at the beginning of the game. Most puzzles require you to solve them in the order 1 through 6 or something, and then each puzzle in that order is getting an increasing level of complexity from the previous one. So like you'll walk into a new area, but the area will only have 1, maybe 2 puzzles in it, and each of those 1 or 2 puzzles unlocks another 1 or 2 puzzles behind it, right? It's never you walk into a room and here's 10 puzzles and do them in whatever order. And I can understand why the developer decided to give you 10 puzzles, because like maybe one of them makes sense and it helps you to understand the other ones, but it doesn't work. Unfortunately, I wish it did. The question that sits with me is how many Lingos have other developers started to make and maybe even gotten very far in and then just not released, because before they released it, they realized this concept doesn't really work. Sadly, as much as I wanted it to, as cool of an idea as it was. I'm open to an idea on this one. If someone has another word this could be, there we go, finally. I think I did everything it could possibly be except into. Is that what the letters on the walls are supposed to represent? These are the only letters that are in the answers. H-O-U-R-I, okay, whatever. Okay, because of the door. Riot. More than a little, yeah. I need to, like, maybe someone else in game design spaces has already coined a phrase to describe this. I need something just, like, local to this community that means this kind of bad hint, right? Where it can only ever make sense after you already know what it means. It's problematic because you walk in the room and you see Cog, Rhino, Hug Rug, or Honor Our Hint or whatever, and you're like, okay, well that could mean anything. That could be implying something in this room. It could imply something in a different room. It could be I have to combine this with this and this and that. It's like there's so much shit that makes it difficult for a reasonable player to be able to collapse it to what exactly are they referring to here? What do they want me to see? And I think it's very difficult to make a hint that that doesn't have that problem. Okay, I've got V now. I've got other stuff I can't do. Only hints that only make sense in hindsight. All right, I think we're at time. Future Marstead, I don't know where to send you. You just got the letter V. This is a problem. It's hard to leave future Marstead notes in this game because I can say, okay, go do this. But it's like the thing that I would advise my future self to do in a year or whenever we play this again is to just run around randomly until you find a puzzle that's not red. That's what I'm doing right now. That's what I'm going to do in a couple of years, and I don't feel any more prepared to do stuff. I do have the Future Marstead text file, which has some explanation of some of the rules you've learned, but there's a couple of them that are still questionable as to whether you fully understand them, like the zigzag above the homonym, which apparently collapses to rhyme, but I don't think it literally means rhyme. I just think there's a combination of two rules there that implies rhyme, but zigzag still means something independent of the homonym glyph. Yeah, I've used hindsight bias before to describe it, but since it's specifically a video game thing for hints, it's harder to get to exactly what I mean by it. Thank you, Rabanon, for sharing this, though. I know it's been frustrating and delightful at times, but it's been neat to see the developer do something different from Lingo, but still frustratingly hold on to some of the same mistakes from the beginning of the game. It's almost like it's like a fractal. It literally is Lingo 2. Lingo again. Look, I did some cool stuff, but I also did some fucked up shit. And I'm never gonna stop. I'll never stop.